The sexual revolution that suspiciously occurred during the presidency of Barack Obama, what is the link between little black kids in preschool and elementary school where the boys say, I want to be a girl, and the girls say, I want to be a boy, or I'm gay, or I'm lesbian, or I'm transgender, and I'm queer, and I'm only 5 years old. I'm only 6 years old. I'm only 7 years old. I'm only 8-year-old. I'm trained in psychology. My doctor is psychology. There has never been a course. I've studied psychology from the age of 17 to 36. I studied psychology from the age of 17 to 36. Nowhere in my psychology courses, were we ever taught. I never read a book in any of my classes: school psychology, clinical psychology, child psychology, developmental psychology, forensic psychology, social psychology, family psychology. I never read a book that said children are able to make decisions about their long-term sexuality in elementary school. I never read that. So can somebody explain to me how even white psychology never claimed children know what's best for them? White psychology never claimed that children can make sexual decisions in elementary school for themselves. We've never seen anything like this. But now in America, if your 5-year-old tells you he's gay, if your 6-year-old tells you she's a lesbian, if your 7-year-old says he wants to transform from a man to a woman, if your 8-year-old daughter says, I want to transform from a woman to a man, and you oppose them, and they go to school and they tell the white power structure that I told my mommy I want to be a girl, and my mommy got mad and said that is against God and against this family, you can be brought up for child abuse. 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 So what is the relationship between the right of children to choose their gender in elementary school? What is the relationship between the right of children to change their gender in elementary school? 𝚂𝚗𝙺𝚴. No disrespect to Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. No disrespect to the Wade family. No disrespect to Dwayne Wade and his family. But 𝚂𝚗𝙺 represents the black boy of the future. 𝚂𝚗𝙺 represents the black boy of the future. This is what they want to see. They want to see black men and black women allow children who are not even in high school. They want to see black men and black women allow their sons who are not even in high school to decide, I want to be a woman. This is what they want. This is why 𝚂𝚗𝙺, no disrespect to the Wade family, this is why 𝚂𝚗𝙺 has been given so much attention. I believe 𝚂𝚗𝙺 spoke for National Women's History Month or something like that. How does a black boy speak for National Women's History Month? No disrespect to the Wade family, but the 𝚂𝚗𝙺 situation, represents what America wants to see from the black man. The 𝚂𝚗𝙺 situation represents what America wants to see from the black man. I'm not disrespecting a young brother. I'm not going to call him a sister. I will never, and y'all could call me, but I will never call a boy a girl. If you were born as a man, I'm never calling you a girl. If you were born as a woman, I'm never calling you a male. I'm not doing it. That's against my beliefs. If we have to respect y'all, y'all have to respect us. But let me give you the relationship between pedophilia and the gender revolution. The child gender revolution and pedophilia. Let me tell you where they merge. How does letting your child decide I'm gay at 5 and lesbian at 6 and transgender at 7 and queer at 8 during the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, how does letting 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders choose a different gender or a different orientation, how does that relate to pedophilia? Let me drop the bomb. Let me drop the bomb. I want you to understand, overstand, and understand. Let me drop the bomb. Here's the bomb. If Black America swallows this, you will have no choice but to swallow that. Stay with me. If you swallow this, you will have no choice but to swallow that. If you swallow this, you will have no choice but to swallow that. What do you mean, Dr. 𝚂𝚗𝙀𝚁? What do you mean, Dr. 𝚂𝚗𝙀𝚁? What do you mean, Dr. 𝚂𝚗𝙀𝚁? I'm going to give it to you right now. Let me drop the bombshell. Let me drop the bombshell. Here's the bombshell. If Black America swallows this, meaning it's okay for my 5-year-old to decide he's gay. If Black America swallows this, it's okay for my 6-year-old to decide she's a lesbian. If Black America swallows this, it's okay for my 7-year-old to want to transform from a boy into a girl. If Black America swallows this, it's okay for my 8-year-old daughter to want to transform from a girl to a boy. If Black America says it's okay for children to choose their gender or change their gender, choose their sexual orientation. If it's okay for a 7, 8, 9-year-old to choose their sexual orientation, why is it not okay for them to decide who they want to have sex with? I'm going to say it again. If it's okay for a 5, 6, or 7-year-old to choose their gender, to get a sex change, to choose their sexual identity, to transform who they are. If it's okay for a 5, 6, and 7-year-old to choose their sexual identity, if it's perfectly okay to do that in elementary school, why is it not okay for them to know? Why is it not okay for them to choose if they want to have sex with adults? Why is it not okay for them to decide that they want to have sex right now? If I can choose my gender, if I'm old enough to decide how I want to live my life for the rest of it, if I'm old enough to decide how I want to live my life for the rest of it, if I'm old enough to decide I want to be gay, lesbian, queer, transgender, if I'm old enough for that, why am I not old enough to choose that I'm ready to have sex right now? If I'm gay at 7, why can't I have gay sex right now? If I'm lesbian at 8, why can't I have lesbian sex right now? If I'm transgender at 9, why can't I experience transgender intimacy right now? The setup for the setback. The setup for the setback. The setup for the setback. So all you black folks running around supporting the sexual identity crisis in black children, all of you adults running around supporting the sexual identity crisis of black children, I want you to know that when the pedophilia bomb gets dropped, you won't be able to do nothing about it because you already let them drink from this cup. Since they drank from the cup of sexual identity in elementary school, since they drank from the cup of sexual identity in elementary school, they can drink from the cup of pedophilia too. And that's facts. And that's facts. And that's facts. The setup for the setback. Psychological warfare against American Africans because we refuse to study our enemy's game plan. Psychological warfare against the American African because we refuse to study our oppressor's game plan. Psychological warfare against black children, black boys, black girls, black men, black women. Psychological warfare because we refuse to study the agenda of our oppressor. The sexual revolution, the sexual identity crisis amongst black children is a form of psychological warfare. Checkmate. 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 And why do they want to normalize pedophilia? Because there's certain very powerful secret societies. Why do they want to normalize sex with young children? Because there's certain very powerful secret societies who require as a ritual the sodomy of young boys and the rape of young girls. It's part of the initiation. It's part of the initiation. They must do it. And so to reduce legal responsibility, they want to normalize the pedophilia, so if they get caught, they can't go to jail. They want to normalize the pedophilia, so if they get caught, they don't go to jail. They want to normalize the pedophilia so they don't end up like Jerry Epstein. Jerry Epstein was a fall guy for the white power structure. Jerry Epstein was not the be-all and end-all of the international child sex trafficking ring. Jerry Epstein was one of millions. Jerry Epstein was one of millions. Jerry Epstein was one of millions. He is not the be-all and end-all. He did not commit suicide. They took his life.